Unit 198, Gender Roles, Listening and Speaking. A breadwinner rethinks gender roles. When my son was born last fall, my husband and I had a plan. After a short maternity leave, I would continue to work and he would quit his job to take care of the baby. I didn't think of myself as becoming the breadwinner. I had always earned the higher income. The fact that my mate would have a job at home, just not a paying one for now, didn't bother me. The main hurdle, we assumed, would be figuring out how to afford the shift from 2 incomes to 1. That has turned out to be the least of our problems. The real challenge is navigating the kinds of financial and emotional issues that you can't enter into a calculator. Like so many women raised at the tail end of feminism's first wave, I assumed that my spouse and I would enjoy a relationship based on equality. Equality is an overworked word, but to me it meant sharing the income, chores and childcare. So when my husband asked me the other day, "Did your concept of equality ever include supporting a family?" I had to admit that my answer was no. I wanted it to be yes. If men could provide for their wives and families, as they have traditionally in many cultures, why shouldn't women feel just fine about assuming that role themselves? Why didn't I? To put it simply, because we are not there yet, says Kathleen Gerson, a co-author with Jerry A. Jacobs of The Time Divide, Work, Family, and Gender Inequality. We are all quite comfortable with the dual-earner household. It's become a cultural template, she said. But for some reason, we had a roadblock when it comes to single-income households where the single earner is a woman. According to Ms. Gerson's research, the number of households where the wife is the sole earner from 1970 to the year 2000 jumped from about 4.1% to over 7% and has grown since then. A 2003 survey indicated that about a third of wives earned more than their husbands, and about 43% of household income overall was earned by women, according to a 2003 study by the Families and Work Institute, a group in New York. This data doesn't begin to reveal the uncomfortable situation that breadwinner women are in. How to renegotiate the expectations of everything from who manages the money to who does the laundry when you are CFO of the household. When I say uncomfortable, I'm trying to be polite. The women I know in these shoes are seething with uncertainty, resentment, anxiety, and frustration. The patterns that seem normal when the husband is the breadwinner don't hold up when women earn most or even all of the income. That is partly because men have a sense of esteem, of identity that comes with being the provider, says Barbara Rissman, a professor of sociology. Women don't get the same identity benefit. There is a sense that one has a double burden. Take my own situation. I'm supporting the family economically. My husband is supporting us domestically. While I write, he cooks, cleans, shops, takes care of our son. It sounds like an idyllic 21st century twist on the old father knows best scenario. Yet I alternate between pride in our arrangement and terror that I'll be the breadwinner forever. Does the fact that he's doing so-called women's work have so little value in my eyes? Or am I afraid of how others might view a man whose contribution can't be measured in dollars? Am I a sassy homemaker wannabe because I sometimes pray my husband will decide to go to law school and earn a good living? That sounds petty, especially because with deepest thanks to my husband, I'm earning a good living. But for many frustrated women, financial power hasn't created the balance they were hoping for. And they're still working what the sociologist Arlie Hochschild dubbed the second shift. As one breadwinner friend of mine put it, quoting an old Angelic perfume commercial about a woman who can bring home the bacon fried up in a pan, I didn't think I'd have to serve the bacon and clean the pan too. And I didn't think I'd feel so guilty or derelict in my womanly duties when my husband is quick to comfort our fussy 4-month-old, or reminds me where we keep the muffin tin, or that I'd feel so much chest-tightening pressure when I monitor our bills, or remind myself that if I don't sign us up for life insurance, nobody will, because it's my job. Now, we had a really nice text, and now let's look at the questions that we have. Okay, question number 1. She didn't plan to take a long maternity leave. True or false? What do you think? Okay. So definitely yes, it's true. Yes. Okay. In fact, they had a plan. Yes. After a short maternity leave, she would continue working and he would quit his job and he would take care of the baby. Yes. Okay, next question 2. The main hurdle was to make the needed change of roles in the family. Okay, what do you think here? Yes. Definitely false. Okay. The main hurdle, they thought, would be figuring out how to afford the shift from 2 incomes to 1. The truth is, there are quite a lot of things you cannot enter into a calculator, so definitely here the answer is false. Okay, going to number 3. Equality is too much spoken about. Well, what do you think? I would say here yes. In the text they say equality is an overworked word, which means that people use it a lot. Okay? True. Going to number 4, she felt guilty for not doing the right chores for the family. She felt guilty for not doing the right chores for the family. What do you think here? Well, in the last part of the text she says, and I didn't think that I'd feel so guilty or derelict in my womanly duties when my husband is quick to comfort our fussy 4-month-old. Okay, so definitely we can say true, yes. In question 5, her job was to bring home the bacon. What do you think here? To bring home the bacon. Okay. In the text, she said, for many frustrated women, financial power hasn't created the balance they were hoping for, and they're still working what sociologist Arlie Hochschild dubbed the second shift. And what is this? As one breadwinner friend of mine put it, quoting an old Angelic perfume commercial about a woman who can bring home the bacon fried up in a pan. I didn't think I'd have to serve the bacon and clean the pan too. So, what do you think now? Actually, for many frustrated women, financial power hasn't created the balance they were hoping for, and they are still working, okay, the second shift. Okay, as a friend of hers says, quoting an old Angelic perfume, a woman who can bring home the bacon fried up in a pan. Okay, and that friend of hers says, I didn't think I'd have to serve the bacon and clean the pan too. Okay. So I think it's not about her. I think it's about a friend of hers. So false. Now what you see here, some questions for discussion, really good questions. Let's look at them, okay? So, do you see yourself as a typical man, woman? Why or why not? A good question to answer, yes. 2. What jobs are deemed as appropriate for men but inappropriate for women? 3. What behaviors are deemed as appropriate for men but inappropriate for women? 4. What habits are deemed as appropriate for men but inappropriate for women? 5. Are the responsibilities of a mother the same as the responsibilities of a father to their families? What are the responsibilities of a father, a mother to her family? Okay, good questions to answer. 6. Are fathers capable of carrying out the duties of a mother and vice versa? What do you think? 7. Are there different expectations for sons and daughters? Okay. 8. Are men and women equal in ability and intelligence? 9. Are more doctors, teachers, nurses, professional musicians, truck drivers, cooks, hairstylists, designers, architects, journalists, female or male in your country? Okay, definitely there are men okay, there are jobs for men and there are jobs for women. Okay, so 10. What things can either men or women do that the other cannot do and why? 11. What type of clothing do men wear? What type of clothing do women wear? 13. Can men wear women's clothing or can women wear men's clothing? Why or why not? Nice question, really. 14. Is it okay for women to cry? What about men? What do people think of men or women crying? 15. What would people think if a man who backs down from a fight? What would people think of 2 women involved in a fist fight? Okay, really good questions. 16. Is it okay for women to appear angry? Is it okay for men to appear weak? Okay. So, 17. Is it common for women and men to take part in sporting activities? Do they take part in the same type of sporting activities? Well, there are sports that both men and women do. Okay, so 18. In your home, who does the cooking, cleaning, and household chores? A good question, really. 19. Is it possible for women to join the army in your country? Okay. 20. Do women swear a lot? Why? Well. 21. Are there more male or female managers and executives? Why do you think this is? Well, next question. 22. What jobs do men do and women not do in your country? 23. Who is regarded as the head of the family? 24. Should boys and girls be brought up differently? Well, this is a very good question to answer. Should boys and girls be treated differently on the part of the parents? 25. What would happen if your parents change their place for one day? 26. Can a man and a woman be only friends? Well, maybe the best question to answer here. Yes. 27. Do men's friendships differ from women? Men or women friendships? How? Well, really nice questions. Well, the idea is to make you speak and to express yourself in a really good way. Well, let's move on. We have an exercise. We have to fill in the gaps. Well, and the words are chance, maternity leave, support, bring up, inappropriate, quit, swear, equal, earn, negotiations. Number 1, my sister has a baby. At the moment she doesn't go to work. She's on a what? Maternity leave. Така, отпуск по майчинство, излизане в майчинство, maternity leave. To be on a maternity leave. Изключително важно е да помним фразите, които имаме в изрази. To be on a maternity leave. Okay, on is the preposition there. 2. I can't stand up all that shouting and at football matches. Well, what can we say here? I can't stand up all that shouting and what? What do people do at football matches? They shout, they swear. Okay, what is the meaning of the word? Ругая. Okay. And swearing, yes. We have an ink form here. Okay, shouting and swearing. 3. Who? More money? Your mother or your father? What is the word that we can use here? Well, earn is the word. Who earns more money? Okay, we have S, third singular. Yes, who earns more money? 4. I was to respect honesty and hard work. Okay, we have to use the phrasal verb here, bring up. In the passive, I was brought up to respect. Okay, bring up, един изключително добър фразеологичен глагол. Отглеждам, възпитавам в този смисъл. I was brought up to respect. Обърнете внимание по начина, по който се използва. Okay? Okay, I was brought up to respect. 5. After long and difficult, what? With my boss, we agreed to he agreed to let me have a 2-week holiday in August. Well, negotiations. To negotiate is the verb. Да преговарям. Negotiations, преговори. After long and difficult negotiations with my boss, he agreed to let me have. Okay. 6. Should all family members share the household what? Chores. Домакински задължения, домакинска работа. Seven. My parents have always me and my decisions. Well, what can we say here? What is the word that we can use? Support. Well, my parents have always supported me. Yes. 8. What is an question to ask a woman in your country? Inappropriate. Appropriate, подходящ. Inappropriate, неподходящ. What is an inappropriate question to ask a woman? Okay. For example, to ask about her age. Yes. 9. If you don't like your job, why don't you quit it? Yes. Give up. Stop. Yes, this is the meaning. Okay. 10. Do men and women have chances when applying for jobs? Equal chances. Равни шансове. Равен. Well, that's it.